Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This book review is for My Big Fake Wedding by Jessica Hatch, which is a Bookouture publication, and it is a rom-com that has a light, breezy feeling with a most unusual plot. Here it is. Bea is dating someone, and I believe his name was Raymond, and she's dating Raymond, and in the course of their long 7-year dating relationship, she enters a lottery. This lottery, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to bring up this lottery will give her, it's a contest for a wedding venue that would cost $50,000, and all it would require is a $2,000 deposit. It is the most sought after wedding venue in Richmond, Virginia. Well, she entered that contest back in 2017. Fast forward to now, in the book, it's 2019. And her and Raymond have broken up. Anyway, she's on the highway, 3-lane highway, grabs a phone call. You won, congratulations. Won what? The lottery for the wedding venue. Bea is flabbergasted, left speechless, and pretty much just says thank you. All right, so she gets together with her two best friends, Lucy and Oliver, and tells them this story. Of course, they're like, how can you do that? You and Raymond aren't even seeing each other anymore. You're not seeing anybody. Well, before Bea can talk her own self out of it, she pays that $2,000 deposit to hold that spot, to hold that date being June 22nd, 7 or 9 months in the future. Guess what? She's going to walk down that aisle with Mr. Right. Well, who are her choices for Mr. Right? Well, she can swipe right on a dating app, but she's not going to do that. She can try to get back in touch with Raymond, her ex, or act on her attraction to her coworker that's named Andrew, or even take a closer look at Oliver, one of her best friends. Well, she starts off actually fake dating Oliver to impress her parents, to convince her parents that this June 22nd thing is a reality. Well, where does that go? And what about Raymond? And what about Andrew? Well, as Beatrice tries to work towards what is essentially a manufactured relationship, a fake dating relationship, the question is whether this will lead down the path to everlasting love. Okay? That is a challenge that faces Bea. Bea believes that nothing should be wasted, not money, not opportunities. The opportunity is that perfect wedding, most sought after wedding venue. And the money that she's invested, that $2,000 when she is a single woman living on her own and does not have unending pockets. Nope, she's going to go for it. Okay, it will happen. She will walk down that aisle. And while she does so, she plans on a forever love. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of drama in this book. You know, it's a romantic comedy, so it's mostly light. And that drama involves her friend Lucy and her friend Oliver. They each have personal challenges in their lives, and Lucy has been best friends with them for quite a while. So the question is, will Lucy see past her own, will she take the blinders off on her own life and look at her friends to help them to deal with the issues that they are facing? So I like that drama that was built into the story. Now, back to her three choices, Raymond, Andrew, Oliver. Does she have enough of a connection with any of them to date them, become engaged, and get married by June 22nd? Well, in her words, and I'm going to scroll down, I like how she said, instead of when we had 5 kids in a house in Ohio. That line was important to me because when she chooses of the men that she will end up with, She doesn't want to find out that it was a bad decision, a failure 5 kids later in a house in a different state altogether. I brought that in here because of the challenges that this situation is. And it's the most unusual one. If I haven't already said that, you know, she wins a wedding venue and she has a cemented date and she's put in a non-refundable deposit, but she doesn't have a groom. So what will be her final choice? What is the path like? Well, one of the things that makes this book enjoyable while we see what that path is like for Beatrice is every chapter, she's a planner, and she's got a bit of OCD as far as doing things on task. Doing things on task means that she creates a to-do list every day. At the end of every day, a 5-point to-do list. Those to-do lists are the ending of every chapter. And I love that the chapters end with those to-do lists because it shows the progression of the experience that Beatrice is going on. I felt that as a reader that friendship and love were the true backbone, or the bonds of love were the true backbones of this book, or backdrops. It's a story that gave the reader insight into knowing already what true feelings were being formed and where B stood when it came to those true feelings being formed. Now, the last thing I want to mention is this book closes with a letter from the author, Jessica Hatch, and she tells us why she wrote this book. Okay? And, you know, because the book has an unusual plot, an unusual protagonist, a quirky best friend, a desire to fulfill a wish, and still needs to end on a happily ever after. So read all the way to the very end, including the author's note, so that you can find out the motive of writing this book. So that is My Big Fake Wedding by Jessica Hatch. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.